You're listening to All My Friends Are Ghosts, a long-form narrative drama told in 14 parts. Episode 12, The Choice. By the time they were halfway across Kansas, Peter had begun to completely tune out his brother for hours at a time. It was a skill he'd spent 13 years perfecting, by necessity, when recurring migraines had plagued him to the point of quitting baseball entirely. Now, in that increasingly claustrophobic station wagon, he was again working to hone the craft, and before long, Simon might well have been nothing more than a buzzing fridge. Random noise bursts.
The whole record is like completely disposable and almost laughable, really. I mean, now, like today, I mean, I get that 40 years ago it was different, but now it's probably the most singular example of that genre, and it's just so, I don't know, disposable. And then the last song is just this incredible masterpiece. But nobody even seems to know about it, especially not Duran Duran fans, like the people who really like them. I mean, who even really likes Duran Duran anyway? I mean, aside from like literally every single woman born between 1970 and 1980, right? I mean, it's just like when you're listening...
Hey, do you remember the radio in Dad's truck?
The truck we had in Kerrville?
Yes. The black Ford pickup?
Oh, sure. One of those old AM/FM things with the dial on either end. Probably listened to a lot of Rio on that one.
You're exactly like that damn radio.
What?
No matter where the needle lands, it's just nothing but static.
Jesus, dude. What's your problem? I'm just rambling. I'm just talking about music. Why do you have to be such a problem? Anyway, that radio was only always staticky because it was the 80s and we lived in a boring little hick town. You know, if you think about it, I really am like that radio, because if we were someplace interesting, I'd be annoying you a lot less because I'd be amused enough, or at least silently observing the beauty of nature or whatever Robert Frost nonsense you've got in mind for us on this trip. But instead, we're flying through the middle of Kansas, and it's just constant bobbing up and down on these narrow roads and endless walls of goddamn corn zooming by on both sides. Just corn.
God damn it, Simon. Just stop. Just stop.
Well, I'm sorry I'm so annoying. It just sort of blows me away that this crap band could make this really boring record only to end it with one of the best songs of the 80s. Like, I don't know. I guess I find that more interesting to ramble on than just staring off into this hypnotic blur of goddamn corn.
We're not arguing about Rio, Simon.
Wait, are we arguing?
Just put some music on, okay? Something.
Did you ever get the feeling of just being exhausted by being around someone who's constantly reminding you of who they think you are or were or who you should be?
I'm not trying to tell you who to be or telling you what you could have been or whatever. That's ridiculous.
Why did you even move to the city? I mean, I know you've got your big wine partnership with the restaurant and the vineyard, and your business partners and investors, or whatever it is.
Simon, you know exactly what I do for a living.
Okay, but why did you follow me?
Oh, Christ. Some things aren't about you, Simon. I mean, it's where we were both born. For Christ's sake.
Just answer the damn question, Peter. Just tell me.
You can't understand what it's like, okay? Having it all on me. Everything is on my back. I've got...
Answer the goddamn question.
I didn't want to be alone anymore. I didn't want to be wishing I had a family still. Blood. History. I didn't want to be out there trying to make it work with Wendy and the kids just to turn around and just say, wow, I made it in this town where my parents raised me, and still feel like, I don't know, like it didn't come from anywhere.
He took a sharp breath, flipped the visor down, and looked into his own reflection as if he might find something new.
I mean, what's the use of staying in the town where you grew up if you're alone there?
So, it is all about me.
The two sat there quietly, reflecting, or maybe not, joined to one another by some awkward sense of obligation, something unspoken, intangible and vast, something more than blood and history. Just as the air seemed to settle, one of them broke the silence, asking if the other remembered swimming at a dam in the Guadalupe River near their childhood home. He said he thinks everyone has a time in their life when they're truly alone, no matter who else is around. He said he thinks everyone reaches a point in their life when the realization of their own mortality leaves its mark. They both stared out into the passing fields, the irrigated rows of whatever, that pale blue expanse above them. They reminisced about their father taking them right up to where the water pours over the dam. He would walk behind the overspill, and just as the lonely hint of fear hit the boys, he would emerge, slowly piercing the sheets of water, making some silly face, and they'd laugh nervously. They remembered him being 10 feet tall, invincible, a myth. The first time the boys worked up the courage to walk through the cascading water with him, one of them was sucked under the current and spat out near the banks, swatting in a panicked fit toward the sunlight, but their father was there to grab him by the wrists and get him back on his feet. The boy realized his own mortality that day, having had the air sucked out of him in a sudden jerking sensation. It was something you can't tell someone about or explain to them unless they've had their own moment of realization. The rhythmic thud of the tires navigating the contours of the asphalt, the delicate wheeze coming out of the air conditioning vents. One of them asked if the other remembered when they would compete to see who could hold their breath underwater the longest. He said he would be holding onto a root or a rock, anything to help him stay down a little longer. He said every once in a while he'd have a brief moment of panic coming back up for air, just 6 or 7 inches beneath the surface, with that tight burn in his lungs. And in those moments, there was this sickening realization that he might always feel that way, or that he would never be right again, flailing his arms toward the light to spring himself upward to gasp for air. He said he feels like that all the time now, and his brother said he did too. The rhythmic thud of the tires navigating the contours of the asphalt, the delicate wheeze coming out of the air conditioning vents. They sat in silence until the song ended. And then they sat in silence some more. It was early evening when they hit Interstate 90 in South Dakota, and the sun was breaking through massive cloud formations as far as they could see in every direction, like some brilliant creator of all things birthing galaxies before them.
Do you remember how Mom and Dad were just kind of like friends after a while?
What? What do you mean?
I don't know. I mean, like, how after maybe my 11th or 12th birthday, it just seemed like they were these sexless, romantically complacent roommates with shared children or something.
Jesus Christ, dude.
What? Come on. I mean, I'm trying to speak plainly. I mean, I'm being, let's say, maybe abrasively descriptive or something, but I'm not calling anybody bad names or anything. I'm just saying that's how I saw it.
Really flexing your wordsmith muscles on this one.
Just, no, I mean, seriously, like, did you view it that way too? I mean, it just seemed like there was some shift or, I don't know. Things changed and they were just these two entirely separate entities in every sense after a while.
Well, yeah. But I mean, that's sort of just part of a marriage. Or any partnership, really.
Simon turned his attention back to the clouds.
Yeah, I guess so.
What made you think of that?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess I know. Or, I mean, it's not really related to anything. It just sort of came to mind.
I guess I can only speak about my own experiences, obviously. But with Wendy and I, there's a bond that goes beyond, I don't know, even love, I guess. There's this trust, like a common thread, like some sense of needing each other. And it's not like other relationships that I've had.
Other relationships? Dude, you guys have been together since like the 1740s.
Shut up.
No, honestly, I mean, can you even remember anyone else?
Yeah. I know what you meant, but yes, I can remember. I can remember feeling completely in love with someone else. Feeling like I'd give up everything that I was about just to be with her. Like all of it. I don't know, it came and went really fast, but it was real, and I remember it.
Simon held his hands up and mockingly began counting on his fingers in a hugely exaggerated manner.
Okay, so you were, what, 15 when this happened?
Come on, no. This was probably a month or two into senior year.
Oh, okay. So you were 17. Okay, huge difference. My bad.
It can be. I mean, I think it's like the difference between being 20 and being 25, probably. Which is, like, huge.
Yeah, I guess.
That was when Dad was starting to really go off the rails again. So I was dealing with that, too. It always felt like a really huge, heavy, long period in my life.
Okay, so I'm fully in on this, like, details immediately. Like, was this when you were already with Wendy? I mean, I know we were living in separate houses by then, but Where the hell was I when you were off being so interesting?
Yeah, I don't know. It was after I moved into that awful apartment with Dad. You were like 14 or 15, so you're probably skateboarding and smoking pot in a drainage ditch somewhere, or huffing gas behind the stop and go or something.
Yeah, that theory holds water, but I mean, was this just like a tiny moment or something? I didn't think you and Wendy were ever not like 2 moons in orbit of one another after freshman year or something.
Honestly, it was just some hot, explosive thing. Me and Wendy were having a rough time that summer with all the training and me meeting with the recruiters all the time. And it looked like I'd most likely be leaving for Miami after high school. And then when August ended, the headaches came so bad. So it was like all of these huge things were all colliding, and we sort of split up. And this other girl had just been like a sort of a hanger-on for forever, just like waiting in the wings.
Waiting to pounce.
Seriously, though. I mean, we were kids. You're with someone for so long in those formative years where every week is like a decade, and some stupid set of circumstances propels you both in completely opposite directions for just a moment, and your connection starts to stretch, and every time it's tested, that voice in you keeps telling you it's gonna snap, and you can't help but do stupid stuff to one another, lash out at each other, break things, go fool around with somebody.
God damn it. I always knew you were having some hypersexualized Nickelodeon's 15 kind of high school experience while I was sitting around eating raw cookie dough, listening to records, and daydreaming of literally anyone letting me touch their genitals.
That is a deeply unpleasant mental image, Simon.
Oh, okay, American Gigolo.
It's not all that. Listen, I have no idea what Wendy got up to during that time. I didn't want to know. I've never wanted to know. She even tried to talk to me about it like a few times, and I would not let her. It's just something that was out of my control, and I didn't want to talk about it because it's over and done. I just wanted to be finished running around and be with her again. Comfortable. Where I belonged, where I felt safe, where I didn't have to worry about finding that piece of my life.
That's sort of, I don't know, morbid, depressing, deflating, I guess?
Not really. I mean, but that goes back to what I was saying earlier. There's a bond there that can't be compared to anything else that I've ever experienced.
In all your vast experiences.
Well, all I know is I found someone. Yes, at a really young age, but I found someone who I felt comfortable with. We've had our problems, but we've remained committed to one another, and we've been able to step back and acknowledge that those moments were just part of what happens when you've tied your life to someone else's, let alone when you're around them essentially all the time.
And you never bored?
I mean, I'm not trying to paint some ridiculous utopian picture here or whatever.
No, I just mean you never feel like you're in some weird countdown to the day when you're sleeping in separate bedrooms, glued to separate TVs, just winding down the days in some platonic, disinterested partnership out of, I don't know, habit or obligation or something?
Jesus, more of this? Again? Well, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm bored. No. I'm too busy to be bored, usually. But no, I don't feel like we're heading where Mom and Dad ended up.
Honestly, I feel like it only takes me a couple months to get to that point with someone. The beginning is always like super white hot and explosive, like you were talking about. And then there's this comfortable middle area where we both feel like, I don't know, body temperature for one another, I guess. And then suddenly I'm just grossed out by them. And then it's like lather, rinse, repeat.
Well, I think you're talking about sex.
No, I'm not. I'm just talking about everything, all of it. Like, the most devoted or head over heels or manic, or this time it'll be different and real and honest and we'll be committed. Or the most super casual relationship I've had. Pick one. They've all been like that. I mean, I could be super communicative with someone and totally into them and devoted to the dynamic, but after a few months, I'm just resenting them for, I don't know, for becoming my baggage or something. It's ridiculous. I know.
It's not ridiculous. I mean, it's a choice.
Sorry, you mean to say I'm choosing to be miserable?
No. Monogamy is a choice.
Well, I'm not necessarily talking about monogamy or non-monogamy or whatever. I think it's just more of my temperament, maybe.
Okay, but I feel like it's the same thing, or the same type of thing. I mean, it's just not a natural thing.
Are you still referring to monogamy?
Yeah. What? What do you mean?
Okay, so you're saying monogamy isn't natural? Am I hearing this correctly? His Highness, King of the Breeders, has declared monogamy to be unnatural?
May I continue?
Oh, sweet Christ, yes, please, go on.
It had been days since Simon had been genuinely interested in what his brother had to say.
I'm just saying, it's not something that you just magically feel some powerful groundswell of intensity about. You choose it. You don't just meet someone and suddenly feel like that look in their eyes, or the way they kiss you, or those goofy little inside jokes or common interests you talked about are going to, like, permanently eradicate all desire that you have to be with anyone else. It's not like that. It's not, intellectually, it's not like that anyway. Not in any lasting sense, at least.
Well, yeah. I mean, I completely agree with all that. I feel like I just find myself there, and then it fades, or just leaves suddenly.
Yeah, because it's a choice. It's something you have to choose for yourself, and for your life, or your partner. You choose it, and then you have to work towards making it a reality.
But then when you're in it and the magic starts to fade and one of you gets that sickening feeling, I mean, it's just over. Even when it isn't. In which case it's just dragging on, and then you're just ruining somebody's life by keeping their hope alive. Or they're ruining yours in that same way.
I don't know. I feel like if that's how you view that type of commitment, then you just shouldn't be making that type of commitment.
Well, yeah, I mean, clearly. Like, hello. You know, I constantly get this vibe from married people, especially the ones with kids. Like, they somehow think I've accidentally ended up where I'm at in my life, romantically speaking, I mean. Like, there's some unsolvable riddle about marriage and childbirth that I just can't wrap my mind around. Like, I've been walking around in a stupor and they need to let me know their perfect little way of life is an option for me or whatever.
I didn't mean it like that, Simon. I'm just saying, if your view on the institution of marriage and parenthood...
Oh my God. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You all liken your commitments and obligations to some holy endeavor when there's no magical essence to any of it at all. You have sex, you have a baby. You buy a ring and a house, and you have real jobs. I get it. It honestly doesn't need any explaining. It's literally what every single boring couple has been doing since the dawn of goddamn arranged marriages.
So now you hate my life? My wife and my kids?
Dude, don't be ridiculous. You couldn't possibly be misunderstanding me that much.
He shifted his body so he was facing the window again.
There's always just this dissonance between us in terms of, like, the cultures we embrace or whatever.
Yeah, granted. And sometimes you're just being a dick.
Yeah, and sometimes you're just being a dick.
They went on, as they always did. And as they flew down the interstate, new galaxies continued to be formed in the sky all around them, in a play of purples and pinks. And when the sky finally blackened, it birthed myriad new formations of white pinholes in every direction, and the Earth kept moving, just like it always did.
I feel like my truth or whatever is still yet to be sorted out. But when I think about it, I also feel like that's definitely not a weird thing, and like maybe it's even normal. I'm in a place that, sexually speaking, I'm fine with. I move in and out of whatever. Some dynamics even overlap, like some gorgeous accidental Venn diagram of genitalia or whatever. And like I said, I'm fine with it, but I feel like it causes problems in my life. Problems in relationships, in communication. Just problems. I have no idea where I'll be even, like, soon or anything. I mean, honestly, like, physically, mentally, geographically, I don't know where I'll be. Or how I'll get there, or what I'll have to do or to convince myself of in order to reach that place. But I somehow just intuitively feel like viewing any of this, anything that's happening in me or around me as some static thing, something solid and unchanging, is a mistake. I feel like it's all very obviously a journey. Some vast work in progress, only it's being pinned by 8 billion frantic people all working simultaneously, so every subplot and digression becomes its own narrative and everything just stays all jumbled up the whole time. The trouble with having all those narrators is that syncing up with literally anyone else can be either an ecstatic, rejuvenating experience, or it can just end up feeling totally aggravating or altogether impossible. It pulls you in while tearing you apart. Being present in the moment and open to whatever comes next while also maintaining a sense of self is just so daunting and scary and hard. It's just hard. I guess I'm only comfortable with parts of me, like symptoms of myself or something. You know how you can treat the symptoms of an illness, but the underlying condition still remains? I feel like I've gotten used to who I am in parts, what I like and what I'm open to experiencing, but the core of me still feels like a foreign body here in this aging set of skin. Some kind of inverse parasite trying to figure out who the host really is. The symptoms only seem manageable because I literally have no idea what the underlying illness is. What is my church? You get older and it's harder to meet like-minded people, you know? If there even are any. I mean, solipsistic indulgences aside, I mean, honestly, like, what do people do? They just give up and go to church or something. Or they go to AA and smoke cigarettes and drink coffee and bitch. Or they get super involved in the PTA at their kid's school, or they play fantasy football down at whatever chain restaurant has the cheapest beer or best looking wait staff or whatever. So what is my church? I mean it. I'd like to know. It's like I just keep coming back to this feeling of not belonging wherever I am. I remember being a pale, doughy little queer kid in the sweltering heat of Texas, just begging you to take me back to San Francisco. Begging. I can't even count the times I asked you why you'd moved us. Come to think of it, I never did get an answer that completely made sense. I mean, there were the flowery, hope-filled musings about wanting your kids to know what it was like to stand in a field and hear a single-engine plane pass overhead, But then there were times when I feel like some other truth came out, or some piece of it. Like the one time when you said something about not wanting to have to explain to your young boys why two men were kissing in a cafe or something. I think that was the first time I felt like I didn't belong anywhere, even around you. Living as I've lived and remaining alone despite every effort to find meaning in something larger than myself, I've gotten used to just blocking it out. But sometimes it hits me like it did that day, and I feel like the air has been sucked out of me again. Adulthood is just this hilariously lame extension of middle school in a lot of ways, if I'm real with people at least. The main difference being that speaking my mind doesn't really get me into trouble so much as it just culls me out of a lot of situations. Right when I relax enough to be myself in a new situation, I'm reminded why I'd rather just be alone. Too plain for the queer kids, too queer for the popular types, too weird for the smart kids, too smart for the losers, too dumb for the winners. Sometimes it seems the list just compounds with every new social interaction. When all I want is a church, I just want something I can belong to without it asking anything of me. Asking me to not be me. I want to feel like someone gets me, even if it amounts to nothing more than just knowing they understand. Because honestly, I feel like I've never even given myself the chance to express that idea before.
All My Friends Are Ghosts is written and directed by Blake Cormier. Starring Blake Cormier as Simon, Joe Barton as Peter, and Lauren Seal as the narrator. Original music and sound design by Blake Cormier. More information about the production and all songs used in the show can be found at adoredbymillions.com.